glad you've joined us. Today is class 27 of our 30-class active chair yoga journey together. Our class today was filmed 3 years ago and focuses on balance. We'll use a strap to assist in the poses. Let's experience our chair yoga practice as a community together. Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you joined us today. Check out the sections on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage to make it easier to find classes by length or by purpose or by body area. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. It's free and I'd love to hear from you. I've been hearing from more of you. I'd love to hear that, so please leave me a comment. Now in today's practice, we're going to explore poses for balance. So this is an area that many of us struggle with. We're going to work through some balance poses with confidence. And remember, we always have our chair right beside us for support. So you will need that chair, and you'll also need a yoga strap. Now if you don't have a strap, you can substitute a long scarf or a necktie or a belt, or you can just do it without it. So let's put our strap under our chair and get started. So we're going to move forward in our chair and take just a moment to ground, right? So we take a moment to think about our feet grounding to the earth. You'll have all 4 pressure points of both feet behind the big toe, behind the little toe, and the 2 points of the heel equally weighted on the floor. Next, let's think about our sits bones. So we want to make sure that we're equally weighted on the chair, that we're not leaning one way or the other. Let's place our hands lightly on our thighs, flip the palms up, close our eyes, and just breathe. So we take just a moment here to connect to that breath. Feeling that natural inhalation and exhalation. And let's begin to elongate the breath, inhaling a little more deeply, exhaling a little more completely. Moving that breath down into the diaphragm, inhaling, the belly extends. Exhale, pull the belly button to the spine. Do that 2 more times. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intentions for today's practice. 1 more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. We're going to take our nose and we're going to make some circles on the wall in front of us. So let's start clockwise. Now as we begin to make those circles a little bit bigger, feel the stretching that's happening through the neck muscles. Let's make that circle a little bit bigger. And go ahead and make it a pretty big circle, whatever that means for you, right? Using however that feels for your body. Okay, let's begin to make those circles a little smaller. And a little smaller. And a little smaller. And go ahead and stop. And now let's reverse that. Okay, so now I'm going to go the other direction. Doesn't matter which direction you started with, just switch it up. Are you making those circles a little bit bigger now and a little bit bigger? Are you feeling that stretching happening in the neck, right? Big old circle now, however big works for you. Yeah, and now let's make that a little bit smaller. Go ahead and take it a little smaller so you're kind of taking that coil, if you will, right, and tightening up that spring. Tight, 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 and release. Very, very good. Okay, let's drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. Now you're going to reach up with the right hand and you're just going to lay it lightly on the head. So you're not pulling on anything, right? It's just using the weight of that hand to give that neck a little extra stretch. And let's press that opposite hand out. So you're extending the arm long, flexing the wrist, and pressing through the palm of the hand towards the wall beside you. Nice stretch for that neck. All right, let's bring this hand down first. Take the hand off the head. And lift that head up. Ah, right? Let's do the other side. Ah. So first of all, just place that hand on the head. Don't pull, don't tug. Other hand comes out. Extend that arm. Flex that wrist. Press through the heel of the hand and try to feel the stretch in that neck. One more breath here. Okay, let's bring this hand down. Take the hand off of the head and then lift that head up. Nice job. Okay, so we're moving into a couple of cat-cows, just a little bit of spine, warm up here. So let's place our hands on the thighs, elbows are wide. Go ahead and pull your belly button in towards your spine and round down. So I'm looking down at my belly button. My head is just falling. So don't hold the head up. Let it hang here. Okay. Now we're going to lift up and we're going to take the hands and we're going to grab the back of our chair, squeeze the shoulder blades behind you, and lift your heart. So kind of feel like you're opening up through the throat. Does that make sense? So I'm not wanting you to look up necessarily. Your gaze will be up just naturally because you're squeezing those shoulder blades behind you. Okay, let's do that again. Round it down. Looking at that belly button. I like to do these first couple really slowly. Then let's lift up, get a little muscle memory going. Grab the back of the chair, lift up. Let's add the breath. Inhale here. Exhale, down we go. Inhale, up we go. And exhale, down we go. One more. Inhale, up we go. And exhale, down we go. And release. Very good. Let's grab a sip of water. Okay, so we're going to move forward in our chair. We're going to move into a chair pose. So make sure that your feet are back a little bit. So you don't want the knees in front of the toes, but you do want to be able to, when you push through your heels, to be able to lift your hips up off the chair. Okay? All right. So bring your hands to your heart. We're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to engage that belly, and on an exhale, we're going to lift those hips up off the chair. Okay? We're breathing here. My heart is lifted. And down we go. Okay, so one thing that's really important in your chair pose, and I'll see this in the classes that I teach in person, I'll see people come up and then here they are. Okay, so what happens here is you're totally disengaging your quadriceps and your abdominals. You're just kind of collapsing in on yourself. Well, that's not what we want to do. We want to lift that heart up. Okay, let's do that again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, up we go. See how my heart is lifted, right? I'm not collapsing in on myself. So my abdominals are engaged, my quads are working pretty hard. My hips are pushing back. I can wiggle my toes, so I want the weight to be back. All right, let's go ahead and have a seat. Okay, so now what we're going to do for balance is we're going to lift one heel off the floor. We'll put it down, and we'll lift the other heel off the floor, and we'll put it down. We'll do that a few times to kind of get the feel of it, and then we're going to lift both heels into a toe stand, okay? You know you've got your chair, you can put your feet down, you can sit down. You can even do this seated, right? If you want to keep your hips down, you can do it just like this, and you're just fine. Okay, in fact, let's all do that together, and then we'll come into chair pose. All right, are we ready? We're going to activate our belly. We're going to act like we're standing, but we're not. We're going to lift one heel up and put it down. We're going to lift the other heel up and put it down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Are we ready? Lift both up, both down, lift both up, and both down and release, okay? So did you feel like you were trying to lift up off the chair? You probably got that feeling. All right, if you're with me, we're going to come up out of the chair on this one. All right, take a deep breath in. On an exhale, we're going to come into the chair pose. All right, let's lift one heel off the floor and put it down. Lift the other heel off the floor and put it down. Let's do that again. Lift and down, lift and down. Again, lift and down, lift and down. Last time, lift and down, lift and down. Have a seat, take a little break. Okay, you think we can do it with both heels up off the chair? Off the floor? I think we can. Let's try it. All right, are we ready? Hands to heart, take a deep breath in, press up. Here we go. One heel up, the other heel up. There we are in a little toe stand. Is your belly tight? Right? One more breath. Down and down. All right, here we go. Lift up and up, hold and breathe. Little toe stand action, little balance work. Are we ready? Down and down. One more. Up and up, hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. One more breath. Down and down. Have a seat and take a break. Okay, very good. So we're going to move into dancer pose. So I'm going to move to the right side of my chair, and I'm going to drop this knee down towards the floor. All right. So my knee is straight down. My toes are on the floor. I'm going to release the chair, and I'm going to bring that arm up. So this is the opposite hand. My right knee is down. My left hand lifts, and there is a beautiful dancer pose. Okay, just hold it and breathe. One more breath. Bring your hand down. Bring that leg up. And let's do it on the other side, just to get the feeling of it, right? So I'm scooting over. My knee falls to the floor. I'm on those back toes. And then if I feel like I can let go of the chair, I'm going to release the chair, and I'm going to bring my arm up. Palm is facing in. And there is a beautiful dancer pose. We have one more breath here. Let's bring our hands back down to the chair, come back center. Okay, so now the add-on for that pose is we're going to grab our strap, and you're going to make just a little hook there, and you're going to go ahead and place your foot into that, the little loop there in the bottom of your strap, okay? Now, let's go ahead and scoot over. We're hanging onto that chair. We're going to drop that knee, and now we're going to bring that strap behind us, okay? You feel that? And maybe you can let go of the chair. There's your balance. Belly tight, right? Beautiful dancer pose here. One more breath. Let's release it and go to the other side. Now, if you don't have a strap, I'm going to do this side without the strap so I can show you. So come to the other side. Let that knee fall down. Now I'm going to grab my ankle, right? So I don't have that strap, but I'm going to grab the ankle, and it's the same thing. The other thing you can do is, if you can't quite reach the ankle, is you can grab your pants legs. That's another thing that we'll do in our classes. Belly is super tight. One more breath and release. All right, beautiful dancer pose. Let's grab a sip of water. We're going to come to standing on the right side of our chair. Tree pose. So we're going to start by putting the weight into the leg next to the chair, and our other foot is going to be at a kickstand. So all you're going to do is take the heel of this outside leg and let it rest against the ankle of the standing leg, okay? So that's going to give you a little bit of stability there. Pull that belly button in, lift those pelvic floor muscles up. Remember, all of this core is key to balance. Putting the tongue in the roof of the mouth can help. Finding that spot that's not moving on the floor, kind of the floor in front of you, helps. Let's let go of the chair and bring our hands to heart. So we're holding the movement, the posture, but we are not holding our breath. We have one more breath here. All right, we're going to release that, and we're going to come to the other side. Okay, so put the weight into the leg next to the chair. Create that little kickstand. My heel is right up against that ankle. Okay. All right, so get that down, pull that belly in, lift those pelvic floor muscles. Release that chair, bring your hands to your heart. Shoulders are down, heart is lifted. We're breathing. We just have one more breath. And release. Okay. So now we've got the feeling of it, right? So we're going to do a little bit more on one side, and then we'll do the same thing on the other. But we're going to add a few things on first. Okay, so again, standing leg, create that kickstand, okay? Now we're going to pull that belly in, lift those pelvic floor muscles. Let's bring our hands to heart to start with. Press those palms together. Activate your upper body. That helps for balance as well. Now we're going to add our hands to the ceiling. Those are the beautiful branches to our trees. This is another add-on. You don't have to do it. Palms overhead. Interlace your fingers. Flip those palms up to the ceiling and look up. It is so challenging. We have one more breath. Bring your gaze down. Bring your hands back to your heart and release, okay? So we're going to do that whole series on the other side. So weight into the leg next to the back of the chair. Go ahead and create that kickstand, right? Fill that belly button in. Remember, lift those pelvic floor muscles, get everything set. When you're ready, let go of the chair, bring your palms together at heart, press those palms together. Activate that upper body. Add your branches to your trees. Palms come together over your head, interlace your fingers, and flip those palms up to the ceiling and lift your gaze. Just one more breath. Bring your hands back down to your heart and release. Okay, so come back to the other side. What I like about having that foot on the floor, you are still working a lot of balance, right? But you have that little bit of touch. Those toes are down on that floor, and it gives you a little bit more stability and a little bit more confidence, right? So and you can stay right there. It is great. If you want to try the next version, what we're going to be doing is that same series, but we're going to be lifting that foot up, right? And it can be below the knee or it can be above the knee. It really doesn't matter. But the idea is you're going to press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot, right? So you kind of got this pushing action happening in both directions, and that's going to help with that balance. All right. So, put the weight into the leg next to the chair. Let's go ahead and get our feet wherever you want them. If you want to be in kickstand, be in kickstand. If you want your foot to be below the knee, below the knee. If you want it to be above the knee, above the knee. You pick your position for your leg. All right, are we ready? Is your belly button to spine? Are you lifting your pelvic floor muscles? Is the tongue in the roof of the mouth? Find that spot that's not moving to focus on. Let go of the chair and bring your hands to heart. Press those palms together. Activate the upper body, belly tight. Are we ready? Let's add the branches to our trees. Okay, palms together overhead, interlace fingers, flip those palms to the ceiling and lift your gaze. One more breath. Bring your gaze back down, bring your hands back to heart, bring your knee forward, and put that foot down mindfully. Let's come to the other side. That's one thing I didn't mention, is we want to get out of our balanced poses the same way we get into them, mindfully, and that we're helping our brain to learn what we're trying to get it to do, right? Trying to get our body to do. So it's really important to come out. So if you fall out of it, get back into it, and then come out of it mindfully. Okay, let's do the other side. So here we go. Remember, you've got the kickstand version. You've got foot below knee or foot above me. I may do it this way just to mix it up today. Okay. All right, are we ready? Let go of the chair. Bring your palms together, hands at heart. Let's add the branches to those trees. Palms together overhead, interlace fingers, flip the palms to the ceiling, look up. So challenging. Palms back down, gaze back down. Bring that knee forward and put that foot down mindfully. How did you do? Very good. All right, let's have a seat. Grab a sip of water. So we're going to come to standing on the right side of our chair. Now, in this next series, I want to make sure that you have your chair on carpet or a mat. So I don't want it to slide out from under you. All right. So make sure that you have the chair can be on carpet, or you can even have it on a yoga mat, or you can have it up against a wall. But just something I just want to make sure that it's not going to slide. Okay. All right. So we're on the right side of our chair and we're facing our chair. Now we're going to hinge forward into and place our hands in the chair. Okay. I'm going to get my hair out of the way. Now take just a step back. All right. Now what you're going to do, we're moving into a downward facing dog. We're going to lift our hips high. See what I'm doing there? And I'm pressing my heart back. Now let your head just fall between your hands, and you might feel a pretty significant stretch in the back side of the body. One more breath here. Let's go ahead and come up, step forward, take just a moment to roll up and see how that feels, okay? Now for me personally, that feels great. If it bothers your wrists, I'm going to show you an option, and that's called downward facing puppy. All right. So now your forearms, see how I've come down? So instead of my hands being in the chair, it's my forearms. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to step back, and I'm going to step back, and I'm pressing my heart back. I'm looking down at between my arms. Same idea. One more breath. Step forward and step forward and come up, okay? So I'm going to let you choose if you want to do downward facing dog or puppy. Your choice. But then the rest of it's going to be the same. And I'm going to be in downward facing dog. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and take just a little step back, and we're going to hinge forward, and we're going to place our hands in the seat of the chair. Or forearms if you're doing puppy. Okay. Let's just take another little step back. Press your hips high. Let your heart fall back behind you. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our left leg off of the floor and we're going to lift it up behind us for a three-legged dog. Now, the good news is your hands are still on the chair, so you've got that little bit to help you with that balance. But this is a balance pose, all right? All right, let's go ahead and put that leg down, and then we're going to go to the other side. And we're going to lift that leg up. We're breathing here, we're holding, and we're breathing. We've got one more breath. We're going to put that foot down. We're going to go to the other side. Three-legged dog. Lift that leg up. Press that heart back. Belly is tight. Hips are square. Put that foot down. Other side. So remember, the leg that's lifted, that hip tends to want to lift with it, but don't let it. Keep those hips square. That's where your abdominals really work hard. One more breath. Put that foot down. Now, step forward towards your chair, nice and gentle and slowly. Roll up. Bend your knees. We were in an inversion, and we want to give that blood a chance to kind of resettle, right? And not get dizzy. Hang on to that chair. How'd that feel? Okay? All right, let's come to the other side. So we're going to do that same thing. So remember, you can be in downward dog or downward facing puppy. Either is fine. If you're with me, I'm in down dog. We're going to place our hands in the chair. I'm going to step back just a little bit further, and then I'm going to press my hips high to the ceiling. My heart comes down towards my thighs. All right, are we ready? Let's lift one leg up. Really doesn't matter which one. Keep those hips square. Don't let those hips hike. One more breath. Place that foot on the floor. We're going to lift the other leg up. Working our balance, belly tight. Remember, belly button to spine, key to balance. Put that foot down. Let's go to the other side. Lift that leg up. Put that leg down. Last one, last side. Lift that leg up. Three-legged dog. And put that foot down. Take a couple of steps forward to where you're near your chair. Bend your knees and roll up nice and slow. Take just a moment. So how did that feel? Right? Does that feel okay? All right, excellent. So we're going to come back to the right side of our chair. Now, hanging on to the chair, you're going to take the leg that's not next to the back of the chair, and you're going to place it in the chair, okay? So I said chair a lot, but that didn't I? But you're hanging on to the chair, and there's the other leg that comes up, okay? Now, just heel toe your foot forward. So you want to be really, those toes are right at the edge, and you're going to let your weight come forward. So see, my chair was just a little bit unstable. So make sure that you've got your belly tight and use that, make sure your chair stays stable. This is why you want it on that carpet, so we're not shooting that leg or that chair out from under us, right? Does that make sense? All right, we're going to come up, and now we're going to straighten that leg, and the toes are going to come up to the ceiling into a pyramid pose. So the balance here is that we have one foot on the floor, and then this foot is really not that supported, right? Do you feel a little bit of balance? You want to make sure that belly stays nice and tight. We're going to do it just like that one more time. Come forward. So a little bit of a crescent lunge. We're going to add to this here in just a second. You know we are. And back we go. All right, let's come to the other side. So your foot is pretty close to the chair. All right, so I'm not wanting the foot to be too far away from the chair. Hang on. Other leg is the one that the foot sets up into the seat of the chair. Let your weight come forward, making sure this knee is behind those front toes, right? So we don't want this knee to come too far forward. Belly is tight, right? All right, let's come back. Toes to the ceiling, and let that heart fall forward into your pyramid pose. You feel it? These toes are up, right? This leg is straight. Let's do that one more time. Come forward. One more breath, and let's go back. Okay. One more breath here. Let's bring that foot down to the floor and release. Okay, so that's a really, really good version. And if you want to stick there, please do. If you're with me, what we're going to do, the add-on is, instead of my foot being pretty close by, now I'm going to take a pretty significant step back. I still want to be able to hold my chair. I'm going to put that foot into the chair, and now do you see the difference? That's quite a different stretch. The other challenge we're going to do is we're going to face forward. We're going to let go of the chair, and we're going to bring our hands to heart. Belly is tight. Now, I will tell you, if you're putting too much pressure on that chair can move, right? So be super careful that you're not pushing out. You want that foot to be pushing down. See if you can release. One more breath. Go ahead and grab the chair. Let's come into that pyramid pose and just do a little stretch for that front leg. All right, let's bring that foot down and go to the other side. Is that feeling okay? Is your chair wobbling on you a little bit? So be careful, right? Be super careful. Okay, so I'm taking a pretty substantial step away. I'm going to put this foot in the chair, and here I am in my crescent lunge. I'm holding on to begin with. I've got my belly super tight. Okay, I'm not pushing out with that foot. I'm pushing down so that that chair is giving me that stability and not trying to slide. Okay, all right. Let's let go of the chair if that feels okay for you. Working into balance here. One more breath. Go ahead and grab the chair. Let's go ahead and come into that pyramid pose just to give that front leg a little love. One more breath and release. All right. How did that feel? Pretty challenging. I know these are challenging standing balance poses, but what's the thing? We've got our chair, right? We can just always grab that chair. We don't ever have to let go of the chair. So we have that support that gives us that confidence to work at it. Okay, so now I'm going to take the leg that's next to the back of the chair and I'm going to put my foot just under the chair so that whenever I bend my knee, my shin or, touches it, all right? So that's kind of gives you the sense of how far under you want that foot. Now, this back foot is going to step back, and that is going to be at that 45-degree angle, that foot. So it's not at a 90-degree angle, and it's not straight forward. It's right at that 45-degree. Get those hips facing your chair and bend your front knee, okay? Now, see, I've got my knee, it's touching the chair. It gives me a little bit of support. I'm going to see if I can let go of my chair and bring my hands to heart. So there's a little bit of balance right there, isn't it? A little bit of an instability. Okay, take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, I'm going to extend my hands to the ceiling. Even more instability. Your choice, right? All right, take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, I'm going to turn and face. You'll be facing me into our Warrior Two. Now, in our Warrior Two, making sure this knee is tracking to your second toe. So you don't want this knee to fold in. And then you want your ribs to be right in the center of the body. Inevitably, they tend to want to go here. But I want you to pull those ribs back so that your head and your neck and your spine are all in alignment. Okay. We're going to straighten that front leg. Now the upper body is separate from the lower body in this. So we're going to let that body come forward. The upper body is coming forward over our chair and over our chair and over our chair. It can't go any further. Then you're going to let that hand fall to the chair into your triangle pose. Now in your triangle pose, your heart is lifted. So inevitably I will see this in my classes. I don't want you to let that heart fall. I want you to lift that heart up. Okay? It's a little bit of balance right here, isn't it? Is your belly tight? Okay, now we're going to move to a half moon. So if you don't want to do half moon, hang out in triangle. It's okay. But here we go. If you're with me, we're going to bend that front knee. Okay? Now, I'm going to grab the side of my chair and I'm going to lift my leg up. So I'm kind of in that triangle position. My heart still stays lifted, but I'm working into pretty significant balance here. Are you feeling it? I am. One more breath. All right, bend that front knee. Put that foot back down. Come back to your Warrior Two. Front knee is bent. Let's reverse our warrior. Front hand is going to come up and back. We're going to come back to that Warrior Two. Let's squeeze the muscles against the bones in our arms. Let's activate that upper body. Triceps are working. One more breath. Let's release that and step out of it. Take a moment. How did that feel? Those are some challenging poses. So they're challenging in any stretch, but for balance, super challenging. Okay, let's come to the other side. All right, we're going to do that whole thing again. You're like, yay, we get to do that again. Well, you do, right? Sometimes it is a yay because you kind of practiced it and you got a sense of it, and now we're going to do it on the other side. So remember, foot goes underneath, bend that knee so that knee or shin will touch the chair. So that's going to give you that good stability later. And you got the sense of that, right? Needing that stability. Let's take a big step back with that other leg, hanging onto that chair. That back foot is at that 45-degree angle. Hips are forward. Bend your front knee, all right? Now, pull your belly in. So one of the things, I've stepped back just a little bit too far now. Did you notice my knee came away from the chair? So I knew I was a little bit too far away. So I've stepped my back foot up just a little bit so that knee would touch, okay? All right, so now pull that belly in, and I want you to extend through that spine, all right? So we all have a natural arch to our back, but I see a lot of people doing this, and I really want you to pull in, lengthen through that tailbone, activate your abdominals, right? Feel that stretch in the front of that back leg. Bring your hands to your heart. All right, we're going to take a deep breath in here, and then exhale. We're going to extend those hands to the ceiling. Remember, you don't have to do that part if you don't want to, if it bothers your shoulders. Is your belly tight? All right, are we ready? We're going to start with that left hand, and we're going to windmill it around, and we're going to come to that warrior two facing me. All right? How's that feel? Get those ribs centered, right? If your ribs are forward, bring them center. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in your arms if you want to. Get those triceps a little work today. All right, are we ready? We're going to move into triangle. We're going to straighten that front leg. Now, keep that front leg straight. Your upper body leans over that chair, over the chair, over the chair. Then that right hand is just going to come down to the chair, and you're going to lift up. You can always have that hand on waist. If you don't want to have that hand extended, bring your hand to your waist. Now, if you do have it extended, it's not how open can I bring it? No, that puts so much pressure on the shoulder. You want to keep the shoulder and the wrist all in alignment. Does that make sense? All right, are we ready for that half moon? I know, it's so challenging. Just give it a try. Or no, it's your choice. All right, if you're with me, we're going to bend that front knee. I'm going to move that foot just a little bit. Okay, bend that front knee. We're going to reach up and we're going to grab that chair and we're going to lift that leg up into that half moon. Belly is super tight. A lot of balance here. One more breath. Bend that front knee. Put that leg back down. Come back to your warrior two. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in those arms. Let's go ahead and flip that palm up and back. Little reverse warrior here. Back to warrior two. And release. Whew. Go ahead and have a seat. And let's grab a sip of water. We're going to move into some pelvic tilts. So basically we're just rocking our pelvis back and forth. So kind of hip tips to shoulders and hip tips to knees. So just a little rocking back and forth. Should feel really good. Sometimes I'll do this, like if I've done something and my back is feeling a little like tight, I'll do these. It feels so good. Let's just do a couple more. All right, go ahead and come back to that neutral spine. Your hands are going to stay on those thighs, and we're going to do body circles. So we're going to let that heart come forward first. Keep the back flat, okay? Are you feeling your back? Is your belly tight? Now we're going to take that circle to the right. Now, as we come back behind, don't skimp on this part. Use your abdominals to hold you up. Don't skimp on this back part. We tend to want to do that. And let's come back center. We're going to do that same thing one more time. I'm going to move forward just a little bit so I get a little bit more of that back work. Back we go. Activate that abdominal. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it. To the side. And center. And now we're going to reverse it. All right, we got two this direction. So we're going to the side, we're going to the back, we're activating our abdominals, we're working those hard, we're coming to the side. There's your side waist work. And here's your back work. Let's do it again. Should feel good too. So we're working, but it also should feel really, really good. I love body circles. Come forward and go ahead and lift that heart up. Okay, so now if you have your strap, let's go ahead and grab that strap. If you don't have a strap, you're going to just do it without the strap, okay? And it'll be just fine. But if you have your strap, let's go ahead and hook the right foot under it, okay? You're going to hold the strap. You see I'm kind of moving forward in my chair. Now, my other hand, I'm just going to be holding onto that chair for right now, okay? So we're going to lift that leg up, and then we're going to open up. So there's that inner thigh working pretty hard. We're going to come center, and then we're going to bring that leg across the midline of the body. We're going to come center, and we're going to do that again. And come center, and bring it across the midline of the body. Come center, bend the knee, and put that foot down, okay? Let's do the other side. So remember, if you don't have the strap, maybe you can hang on to your pants legs, right? And maybe that's an idea, okay? Or just do it, right? Fine too. Okay, if you're with me, my foot is in the strap. So the same, the hand is the same as the foot that's in the strap, right? Does that make sense? So it's the same side, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's choke up a little bit. See if we can get that foot a little bit higher. Feeling a little bit of stretch here, are we? All right, hang on to that chair. Let's open. We're going to come center, and let's cross the midline of that body. Come center, do that again, open. Center, and cross. And center, bend the knee, and down we go. Okay, so now the add-on, remember, you don't ever have to add on, but if you want to add on, let's go to the other side. So we're going to choke up, we're going to lift that leg, and I'm going to let go of the chair. There's your balance. Are we ready? Belly tight. Remember, don't lean back. Open up that leg. Oh, yeah. How's that feel? Working balance, right? Who thought you could work balance seated? Bring it from back center. Let's bring it across the midline of the body. And center. Let's do that again. Oh, my goodness. Is your belly tight? Hand to toe pose, right? With a strap. Center. Back we go, release. And we're going to do the other side. So make sure you're not leaning back. We tend to want to lean back in this one. So it's not a matter of leaning back to get the leg up, right? We're working the quadricep muscle and the hamstring pretty well. Even though we've got the strap, you're still working those muscles. Belly tight, crown of the head lifts to the ceiling. See if you can let go. Here we go, open. Oh yeah, come back center. Don't lean back. Come back center across the midline of the body and center. Let's do that again. Open it up. Come center, cross the midline of the body. Come center, bend the knee, and release. How did that feel, right? That's some work right there. All right, we're going to come back to the strap in a minute. Let's just set it down for now. So we're going to do a horse pose with heel lift. So we're going to do a heel, toe. So your feet are pretty wide here. All right, so we're getting a little inner thigh stretch there. Now we're going to lift our left or our right heel off the mat, and we're going to put that down, and then we're going to lift the other heel up and down. Lift up and down, lift up and down, up and down. Up and down. Switch sides. Up and down. Up and down. And take just a moment. Okay. So now what we're going to do is come into that little bit of a toe stand, if you will. So we're going to lift one heel, lift the other heel. Our hips are going to stay into the chair, but you don't have your feet fully on the floor, so you're feeling the balance. You've got to really use your abdominals here, right? To extend through that spine. Okay. And down and down. Let's do that again. Lift up and up. and down and down. One more. Lift up and up, down and take just a break. Okay. So now, if you notice, my hands were just kind of resting on my thighs. Now we're going to extend those arms out. Belly is tight, shoulders are down. Lift one heel, lift the other heel, hold and breathe. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in your arms. Activate those triceps. One more breath. Release and release. Let's do that again. Lift and lift, squeeze, hold, belly tight. Release down and down. Lift up and up, hold, squeeze. Down and down. Last one. Lift up and up. Squeeze it. One more breath. Down and down. Release the hands. Heel toe those feet back together. All right. Very, very good. We're going to move into pyramid pose, and we're going to use our strap to give us just a little additional stretch. Okay. So, if you don't have a strap, don't worry about it. It's fine. But if you have the strap, we're going to extend our right leg out, our toes are to the ceiling. We're going to come down and just put that strap around the ball of our foot. So you don't want it around the arch of the foot. You want it on the ball of the foot, okay? Because the arch of the foot is pretty sensitive. It's got a lot of little bitty bones in it. We don't want to put a lot of pressure on that, okay? All right. So I'm going to just have one strap in each hand. I'm going to extend through the spine. My heart lifts. Now, as I begin to come forward, I'm keeping my back flat, right? You see that? And I'm letting my heart come forward, but I'm using that strap to kind of pull a little bit. So that's going to pull the toes up a little bit more to the ceiling. I just feel a lot more stretch in my hamstring here. One more breath. Let's go ahead and lift up. Release that, and we're going to do it one more time on the same side. Are we ready? Here we go. Extend through the spine, belly stays tight, keep the back flat. Exhale if you want to add the breath as you come down, and then just breathe. We have one more breath. Let's release that. Take the strap off of that foot and bring that knee in. Okay. Whew, how's that feel? All right. We ready for the other side? Let's do it. Let's extend that other leg long, toes are to the ceiling. Just put that strap around. I've got one, remember, ball of the foot, not the arch of the foot. I've got one strap in each hand. I'm going to extend through my spine super long first, and then I'm just bending my elbows as I keep my back flat and let my heart fall forward. And come up, and let's do that just one more time. Here we go. Inhale as you extend. Exhale as you let that heart fall forward. Feeling the stretch in the back side of that front leg. One more breath. And release. Just set your strap aside. We're going to move into our pigeon pose. So I'm going to take my ankle and I'm going to let it rest right here on my knee. So another option is ankle to ankle, and that's just fine. But if you want to be with me, I'm going to have my ankle resting on that knee. So this could be fine, right? This is all I need. I don't need any more. Great, good for you. If you want a little bit more, all you're going to do is extend through the spine and let the heart fall forward. Keeping the back flat, okay? So we're not rounding like we do in cat pose. This is keeping that back flat. All right, let's go ahead and come up. And I call it rock the baby. So I'm just going to grab my leg and I'm just going to kind of move it around a little bit. So this is just giving that some movement to that joint there. All right, let's put that foot back down and let's extend and do that again. Maybe you press gently on this leg, right? You can do that if you want. If you need more or want more. All right, let's go ahead and come up and let's smooth that joint one more time here. All right, let's go ahead and set that leg down and we're going to go to the other side. Are we ready? Here we go. And remember, one side could be more or less willing than the other, so it's very common. Extend through the spine, let that heart fall forward. We own it, don't we? We own our bodies. It is what it is. That's why we're doing this today, because we love our bodies so much. Let's come up and let's rock that. Rock that baby. And we're going to do that again. Lengthen and hinge. That feels so good. Remember, if you want to press gently on that leg, you can. Just be gentle. All right, beautiful. Okay, we're going to get ready for our Savasana pose. Let's just sit back in our chair. You can lean back now, pull that belly button in. Place your hands lightly on your thighs. Flip the palms up to the ceiling if that feels okay for you. Close your eyes or soften your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Live your courage. Everything in life involves some risk, but that doesn't mean you have to live in constant fear. Momentary fear can be useful, yet if you give fear a place to persist, it will reliably lead you straight toward whatever you fear. Feel the fear, listen to the fear, take precautions based on it, then leave the fear behind, because it has done its job and has nothing more to offer you. Let your actions be partly informed by fear, not dominated by fear. Keep your attention focused on a purpose compelling enough to keep fear at its proper perspective. Step forward with a tiny bit of courage, and suddenly you have more courage. Make it your business to grow that courage by putting it to meaningful use. Fear is not your enemy, and it is certainly not your refuge. See fear for all it is, and live your courage for all it can be. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with your right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug. Press that opposite hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. Click on that subscribe button, leave me a message, and I will see you next time.